Okay, so for this question, our prompt is, the commissioner's argument is least vulnerable to which of the following criticisms? So usually in a flaw question, we're looking for the flaw that is committed in the stimulus. For this question, we actually want to look for something that either is not a flaw or is not a flaw that's committed in our stimulus. So the 4 incorrect answers will be flaws committed in the stimulus, and the correct answer will be one that is not. So the stimulus begins by saying the word commissioner, at which point I immediately pictured the love child of a snowman and the Monopoly man with a little monocle and a top hat as our town's commissioner. Now, what the stimulus says after that is that this commissioner dude is making a decision about some new program based on a neighborhood report. Now, we have no idea, based on the stimulus, if the report is accurate. Secondarily, he claimed that he didn't even read through it all the way. He was like, meh, I kind of looked at it. It looked okay, like, that's fine. Finally, at the end, he says, and because I relied on this report last time, I'm sure it's fine if I rely on it again this time. That's a temporal fallacy. We don't know if it worked well last time, and something that worked in the past doesn't necessarily work in the present or in the future. So those are some of the main flaws in our stimulus. All right, so when we go to the answer choices for this question, we want to avoid the answers that are flaws committed in the stimulus. So for example, in A, it tells us that the report isn't biased. Well, the report very well may be biased. The report probably is biased. So we don't want to pick A because that is a flaw that's committed in the stimulus. Similarly, C tells us that the report's the only evidence that needs to be considered. There's all kinds of other evidence that probably needs to be considered. He didn't go over any of that. That's definitely a flaw committed in the stimulus, so we don't want to pick C. Answer choice D tells us that he totally went over the report. He checked it for accuracy. He told us that, oh, I kind of looked at it, but I didn't really. So answer choice D is a flaw committed in the stimulus because Mr. Commissioner here was eating second dinner instead of checking the report for accuracy. Answer choice E also talks about one of the flaws that we found in the stimulus, saying that because it worked last time, it's going to work this time. Again, that's a temporal flaw, and it does occur in the stimulus, so we can't choose answer choice E. Now, answer choice B tells us that the commissioner's decision is based on incomplete recollections. What I think of when I hear incomplete recollections is the commissioner sitting in his mansion having one too many bourbons and not really remembering the report somehow. That's not what happens in our stimulus. The commissioner straight up blows off the report in the stimulus. He doesn't really read it. So it isn't that he doesn't remember what he's read, it's that he didn't really go over it. Therefore, this isn't a flaw that's committed in our stimulus, and that's why it's our right answer.